Hello. Good afternoon. I swear I've gone crazy this week. It was such a long week at work. It was just one of those weeks where I think one of the reasons I get so stressed out is because I have a lot of anxiety. I think I've said this before, unless I can never tell whether I've actually said something to you guys or I've just recorded it in a vlog and never uploaded it. But yeah, I have so much anxiety for work all the time right now, just because I worry too much about what people think about me and what I'm doing and stuff, and I shouldn't. And also, most of the people I work with are awesome, but there's just a couple that completely throw my day off. Not just mine, but a couple of my coworkers too. When we're trying to get shit done, and we don't have a lot of people to work with right now, which is unfortunate. So yeah, a couple people randomly got cut from work this week, which we couldn't afford in the first place. We were begging them to hire more people. I know that they were making certain decisions. It's kind of none of my business as to why they did it. It sucks because I really like those people, and so we don't get to hang out at work anymore. And I don't really socialize outside of work, other than with you guys while I'm doing my vlog. That's pretty much it. And if someone can catch me and play a game with me, then that's my social life. But it pisses me off because I've been exercising really well until a couple of weeks ago, and then I started getting really stressed from work. I actually stopped exercising because Ross, my husband, stopped exercising, but he's got a very active job. He's building a house, so he's always moving and working. I'm I'll just start exercising when you come back because I like exercising with you. I'm sitting at a desk all day, so not only that, also when I get stressed out and I get a lot of anxiety, I eat really crappy food because it makes me feel better. I think that's pretty common for a lot of people. So I start getting all pudgy. I don't think I'm that bad right now, but I can feel it almost. I don't know if it visually, you can probably see my face a little pudge going on, but it drives me absolutely crazy. So I have to start walking or doing something again. Active. Gotta be active, blimey. Yeah, I've been, by the way, I think I told you guys this, but I bought Saints Row 3 when it first came out, and it didn't work on my computer, and the reason being was some sort of clash with my AMD, I think 8150 processor, and Windows 7 and Saints Row 3, that combination didn't want to work properly. Apparently there's a couple other games, I can't remember what the other game was. Everything's orange in it. Guy's kind of a prototype of half a robot or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. So yeah, it was really choppy. The moment I log in, it was just tick, 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 through the intro and through the menus, and I could never play the game. And I tried playing with Greg, which is really infuriating because I got that game because I wanted to play it so bad with him, because he would be the perfect person to play with, because it's just so ridiculous. You get a complimentary giant floppy purple dildo bat that you can run around and smack people with. So I wanted to play this game for that obvious sole reason, to play that game so bad with him. For a year pretty much when it first launched. I don't think it's been a full year, but it's been pretty close. It's been a long time. I could never play it, and I couldn't figure out what I was reinstalling it. I was reinstalling my DirectX versions and trying different versions of my what's it called? My graphics drivers and stuff. So I was going nuts, and Ross, my husband, spent 3 hours the other day installing some sort of BIOS, and he spent so much time trying to make sure he was getting something that was not bad, that was gonna completely ruin my computer. So he installed it. My computer works exactly the same, great, plus my Saints Row 3 game works. However, I tried, the downside is I tried recording some of it because we were having so much fun. Actually I'll try to show you. I don't know if you can see her. That's my character. She's ridiculous looking. She's Russian. She's such a hoe. You check out the underpants. It's awesome. So we're running around. I've got my sweet, angry, bitchy Russian chick who's evil and awesome. And she's kind of based off of Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's my I don't know. That's why I decided I was gonna dress her like that, 'cause she's gonna be even more slutty than that other chick. or the original one. Anyway, so and Ross was wearing like this like Jason mask with overalls, and he was just like hitting everybody with the big floppy dildo, and we were just laughing so hard and having so much fun. It's such a good game. Like, I was actually surprised how well it ported over to the PC, because it seems more like I'm always about playing like third person action games with a controller. I always feel more comfortable like that, and maybe like, you know, first person shooters on the keyboard, or like, you know, MMOs on the keyboard and stuff like that. But like Batman, Arkham City, and Asylum, and like Saints Row, I would assume are best on the, in my opinion, best on the gamepad. But this actually is really comfortable to play on the keyboard. I was surprised how well like the controls ported over. So I've been playing smoothly on the keyboard. It works really well. It's very responsive. Look, I'm actually talking about games, you guys. It's very responsive, and it's just so much fun. I'm like a huge advocate. I don't even think advocate's a good word. Not even close. I'm a huge sucker for customization, and this game you can customize absolutely everything. So like, you can go, if you don't like how your character looked the first time, I'll tell you something in a second. If you don't like the way your character looks, I gotta sit up. I have really bad posture. Sorry. I'm really comfy though. If you don't like I'm gonna start this again. If you don't like the way the character looks when you first start out the character, you can always go and change it at a plastic surgery place. So like, you can change from being like that slutty chick that I'm playing to like a huge muscly man. It doesn't matter. Like, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can even be like a tranny that like maybe it's like a woman with like huge muscles and like a man face, but like she's obviously still a woman. So it's like really creepy the other way around for a guy. So it's pretty excellent. And, you know, there's so many different kinds of clothes and cars. The car customization is my favorite, because, like, you steal someone's car, you bring it into the garage, you just sit there coloring it and adding different mods to it, and you can actually increase its performance. So you're going around, obviously, hitting everything while you're driving, and your car can, like, just basically explode if you do that too much. So you can spend some money to make it a little bit stronger, actually much stronger. It makes a huge difference. So you can smash things more often, which obviously you want to do for longer without having to go and stop. Oh, look at my chubby cheeks. Oh well. I'm happy. I'm okay. I really like cookies. Okay, what? It's fine. It's okay. Anyway, yeah, I gotta start exercising. I feel gross too. Like, I feel like I need to exercise again, and it felt so good. We were doing the P90X exercise. So it's like a huge difference of exercising like every day on like with Tony Horton exercises, and then not exercising at all, just sitting all day on the computer at work, and then like coming home and be like, I'm too lazy to go home and exercise, so I'll just go sit on the computer and play video games. So I gotta stop doing that. That's bad. That's bad for Canada. Yeah, so how long have it's been 8 minutes I've been talking about Saints Row 3 and my weight, basically. Really, really exciting. I've been playing some other games that I really want to talk about. You saw me upload a little bit of Torchlight 2. I love that game. I will play. It looked like I just gave you guys the finger. I'm sorry. I just put this finger down. I don't know why. That wasn't directed at you. It was just, I don't know what happened there. Just ignore that. Yeah, I played Torchlight 2. It's so much fun. I like it. You guys, if you've watched it, you understand why I like it better than Diablo 3. I feel like Torchlight 2 is more like Diablo 2 than it is like Diablo 3. Or Diablo 3 is like Wait, let's try this. I feel like Torchlight 2 is more like Diablo 2 than Diablo 3 is like Diablo 2. I understand why everyone really likes Diablo 2. I understand why everyone does not like, or, I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just like, if you're comparing the two of them, you know, I've played a little bit of Diablo 2, but I've just heard a shit ton of it from my husband, who is like just played the shit out of it. He's like one of those kids who, you know, that was their game when they were a kid, pretty much. And same with a couple of my friends, but you know, they were unimpressed with Diablo 3. I didn't mind so much. I didn't have so much to compare it to, but I found it really limited, considering it's a Blizzard game. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful game. It feels good when you're doing the combat. It's I always call it crunchy combat, because when you're punching, like say if you're a warrior or the monk, like you feel that crunch when you're just like mowing through bad guys. But I'll just go through this again if you guys haven't watched a 40-minute video that I uploaded. I don't expect you to sit through that long if you don't want to. But basically what happened was, there's a couple things that we didn't like. The fact that, like, they had these elite mobs, and there's nothing wrong with elite mobs. They're supposed to have more health, they're supposed to hit harder, they're supposed to be more of a challenge, which is great. But they had them all the freaking time, and the more you leveled up into different chapters, and then when you restarted the game and got into the chapters, and it gets harder and harder as you go. So you like pretty much do the game twice, I think, to get to the top level, I think. And then once you're at like the second run through at like, you know, towards the middle of the game, those elites are not fun. It's not fun. You're just sitting there kiting them the entire time. They hit too hard. Second of all, they have these attacks that, like, they don't just make them more difficult. What they do is they, like, originally, like, you'll have in the first couple chapters, you're gonna have like a mob, an elite mob that'll like put up walls around you so you can't get out. So he's gonna come in there with his like maybe minions or something and start killing you or whatever. So you have to deal with that. If you have a teleport, it's not that big of a deal, but like it's, you know, whatever. Some classes are good with some of the abilities those mobs have, but some aren't. So I mean, like if you're a mage or something and you don't have a teleport, then you're out of luck pretty much. But yeah. So and then later on they start stacking those abilities. So then they'd be like a Waller jailer. So they're like he's immobilizing you twice. So there's no way you can get away from him if you're like squishy caster. And then there's you know, minions, and there's lasers, and there's mortars, and there's like yeah, I already said lasers. There's just like a shit ton of things they start stacking on. It's just not fun anymore. It's just like not innovative. It's just annoying. So you know, you want to play these games because it's so satisfying just like crunching through these huge like hordes of mobs, and it just like you're sliming down, you know, your hammers, or you're, you know, using your spells to crush them all or whatever. So like you want that satisfaction, but like in this game there's so many of those elite mobs that don't really even drop any good loot, and that's another thing. Like the loot in that game was really shitty. Maybe they fixed it. I don't know. I don't have any interest to go back to play it again because Torchlight 2 is so good. So yeah, so the mobs were really annoying. The elite mobs were really annoying, I think. I found them irritating as hell. I mean, we could kill them, but like you're just sitting there running across the entire map, kiting it while just doing what you can to, and it's just not fun at all. That's the point of games. It's supposed to be fun, not infuriating. I mean, they can be as long as it's a fun infuriating, right? Anyway, yeah, and then the loot was really shitty all the time. Like, once you get a set, I know whoever's watched the video already, you guys know I'm repeating all this stuff, so sorry. But once you get a set of gear that's pretty good, you're not going to replace that for ages. Like, who knows when you're going to replace it. There's so much shitty gear in the game, and there's no point in even selling it because it's like 3 gold, and like it doesn't make any sense. Like at least in Torchlight 2, like the gray items are like 100 gold or something. So not only like, you know, are you keeping that and selling it, you can actually give it to your pet who has another bag, and they can just go sell it for you. So you're not hopping back and forth between town. So you don't have unlimited portals to town like you do in Diablo, but you don't have to go to town anyway, because you can just give all the shit to your pet. He's gonna go sell it, and he can even bring back like potions and stuff and scrolls if you need them. So there's no point in going to town all the time to like sell your shitty gear, because there's no point in even picking up the shitty gear in the in Diablo 3 anyway, because you're not like, you don't get any money for selling it anyway. So what's the point? So it didn't make any sense. So the other thing is like, with the gear, if you got a set, that's great, that's perfect. The legendaries are really shitty. Maybe they fixed it, I heard they did. But when you got a legendary, your gear was always better than that legendary. You're like, oh, I'll save this for later, and then you have all these legendaries that were like, none of these are any good for anybody. Like, why would I even use them? They don't even have the proper stats for like the class. So like, this is a class-specific legendary. I'm sorry, I told you guys I'm a nerd. Like, I'm not lying when I say these things. I'm not trying to be one of those girls who are like, oh, I like video games. I'm like, I really like video games, and I'm passionate about them. So that's why I have this channel. You're gonna listen, well, you don't have to. You can just shut this off and go somewhere else and watch something entertaining. But yeah, the legendaries were really irritating, because what's the point of making legendaries if, one, you actually get them like pretty often? Like, I was surprised at the drop rate. I mean, it wasn't all over the place, but like, you know, a couple of my friends got a couple like within the the sitting that we did for like 4 hours or something like that. I'm like, wow, you got a legendary in like 4 hours, both of you? So that didn't make any sense. And also those legendaries, because they're class specific, you look at them and you think they'd be really good for the class. So like if they're like, say, a witch hunter, witch doctor, or like a mage or something, like you think that you have maybe some intelligence on, I can't remember what the stats are, but like mana and, you know, power or whatever. But like it was all shit, like it was dexterity. Like why, as a mage, why would I need dexterity? That's for like someone with like a bow and arrow or needs to crit with physical or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I can't remember what it is, so don't try to pin me out on the details of it. But like, long story short, they didn't make any sense. There's no reason to have legendary. They're really, really disappointing. And also, like, if you wanted to improve your gear, you either had to sit there and just like redo the same thing over and over and over again in hopes like something will drop. And of course, with those games, like whenever you're playing a character, you get gear that always drops for one other particular type of class. I swear that happens to everyone, not just me, not just my husband, but like I swear it happens to you guys too. I bet you that when you're like, say, playing a mage, you're gonna get demon hunter gear like all throughout. That's what I did on my mage. Same with him. He got like warrior gear the entire time. You're like, I want to get gear for me, and then like, you know, we'd be playing, and of course when we're playing together, we wouldn't get gear for each other either. So it's just like, how is this happening? And how do they know? It's like they knew that like we were playing the opposite characters of like the gear that was dropping, and they're just making sure that we don't get the gear that we're supposed to get. So the only real other way to get the gear was to go on the online auction. And like, that's not fun. I don't want to, I mean, I don't mind paying money for my gear, but I'd rather earn it and like go into a dungeon and like kill a big boss for my awesome gear. But even the boss has never really dropped anything awesome or useful. So that game sucked. Regardless of how much money was put into it, it was not worth $60, I believe. I 100% believe that. I mean, you can play it for a long time. It was great. I probably played every character because I have like a leveling ADD. I have to play everything. That's my issue with Guild Wars, is that they only give you like a certain amount of slots, but there's more characters than there are slots, so you have to buy more slots. I'm like, fuck you guys. I guess that's how they make their extra money, which makes sense. You know what, actually, I prefer that over having to pay a monthly subscription, because then I choose what I'm paying for, and not just like whatever they're fucking adding to the game. Pandas, whatever, don't get me into it. Anyway, so yeah, so what we did, Torchlight 2, just ranted about Diablo 3. I should talk about the good things about Torchlight 2. Just take all those things I said about Diablo 3 and switch them into how awesome everything could be if that stuff was done right, and then you'll get Torchlight 2. So you feel like playing that game over and over again, because they just give you this, I call it the carrot on the stick. Actually, I got it for my husband, but you know when you get a donkey or something in a game, I don't know where he got this from. It's you put the carrot on the stick, and your mount will go faster, 3% faster. In World of Warcraft. It's not a World of Warcraft reference, but that's just what I remember a carrot on the stick being, was a trinket that does that. I told you I'm a nerd. Like, again, I know these things. Anyway, so yeah, it makes you want to keep going and like not stop, and you just like, you're so happy with just continuing, like sitting there grinding away. And the grinding isn't really grinding. I mean, you're still killing everything and trying different things, but the actual elites in that game are fun to play. They do have their own abilities, but like they're not irritating as hell. Like they are challenging, but like they're doable. So it's not that big of a deal. They're and they actually do drop some decent gear. Not all the time, but like the same thing with the game is like, even the shitty gear that drops, might as well just sell it, because you'll get money out of it, and you don't have to go down into town each and every single time to sell it. So there's no point in not picking up the gear and just giving it to your pet and letting him sell it. So it's got a good it's got a good personality to the game. It's a cute game. It's pretty. It's not too graphic intensive, but it looks way nicer than the first game. Definitely way nicer. And then I'm still talking about Torchlight 2, by the way. I'm jumping all over the place. What else? Just the gear sets. I really like the gear styles. Like whoever put together the styles of gear look really good. I think my favorite character is the engineer. It's like a warrior character, but like they really put like a twist on everything. The warrior character, like the engineer, I mean, you can do a couple different things. You can have a sword and shield, which I love. You can have a shield and a one-hander, which in those kind of games you don't generally have a tanky character, but like you can be a complete tank and play with your friends, and you're up front. You're just bowling through everything. You actually do pretty good damage later on, but you can just stack up. I can't believe I just looked at the time on my phone. I've been talking for like 20 minutes on video games. Oh god, I'm a nerd. Yeah, so Engineer's awesome. The next one I really liked was the Mage. I didn't like it at first. I never actually played the Alchemist or the Mage in the first game because it didn't seem that fun. Maybe it was better later on. Mages tend to be like really annoying at first, and then generally in games. And then they kind of evolve into these amazing like glass cannons later on. So this Mage is really fun. They give you a whole shit ton of things you can do. I mean, you can't choose everything because there's too much to choose from. But it's a lot of fun. And yeah. So anyway, I could keep talking, but I've already been here for like freaking 20 minutes. I gotta save some sort of content for next some vlogs coming up, I guess. So it was good talking to you guys. Sorry, I don't shut up about games. I mean, if you were here, I would not shut up, but because I feel bad and it'll take a long time to upload a 20-minute video. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening, and if you want me to cover any other type of game, like next time we'll talk about how much I love Borderlands, so we'll do that. But if you want to talk about games, or maybe recommend one to me, I don't have a lot of money. Well, yeah, we'll see. I like investing in a game that I think is going to be really good. I'm actually thinking about getting XCOM because everyone loves it. Everyone I've talked to just like absolutely adores it. So I'm like, why would I not be playing this? I don't understand. I don't know anything about it. I haven't even looked at any footage. I'm just like, I feel like it's kind of like a treat. Like I'll be surprised, but I should probably do some research before even buying it. Anyway, it's awesome. I'm going to leave now. You guys are awesome, and I can't believe you stuck through the entire 22 minutes. You guys take care. Bye.